What's up, Milwaukee Bucks fans? Tyler from Wisco Fanatics here. I have a handful of plays from last night's Bucks game, which I know a large part of Milwaukee Bucks fandom wasn't able to watch because the game was only on local television and NBA League Pass. So I have some of the plays that, outside of the highlights, are some of the plays that I feel that kind of really told the tale of this game. So I'm going to start in the beginning of the game. This is a first quarter play, and this really just comes down to the gravity that Damian Lillard attracts. And it's not the only play that we're going to talk about in this Bucks-Clippers game where there are 5 sets of eyes on Damian Lillard and what it leads to. Look, just every single player on the Clippers is looking at Damian Lillard right now. Every single one of them. 3 of them are in the paint, or near the paint at least. That's Terrence Mann staring at Damian Lillard, and then Paul George taking a step towards him. And the ball swings out, swings around, and Brook Lopez hits a 3 for the first 3 of the game. Look at how much tension is on Damian Lillard. Look at how much space there is for every other player. Even if Damian Lillard kicks this ball to Malik Beasley, he could shoot this 3. Pat Beverly could easily shoot that 3. Jay Crowder could probably still shoot that 3. And then Brook Lopez shoots this 3. And it's the Bucks' first points of the game. So this play, Jake and I have talked a lot about the Bucks' improvements defensively since Doc Rivers has taken over the job. And this is a situation where the Bucks are playing without Giannis. They're actually playing a pretty small lineup, even though Bobby Portis and Danilo Gallinari have some decent size. But the Bucks are in a position where currently Damian Lillard is guarding Kawhi Leonard. So I'm not going to shy away to say that the Bucks are playing small ball here. So Damian Lillard does a good job to get into Kawhi's jersey to not let him, just diagnose the defense and do whatever he wants to do. AJ Green does a really good job going with the cutter, passing him off to Danilo Gallinari, and then Gallinari stays right on him. Pat goes for the double team. AJ closes out with a high hand. Gallinari closes out with a high hand, and they force a jump shot by Amir Coffey. You'll live with that with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard on the floor. This next play I had to put in just for the people that still don't think that Pat Connaughton plays any defense, despite me bringing up the fact that he's got a really good defensive rating since the All-Star break. They're running some pick and roll here, trying to get some switches. Pat Connaughton gets switched onto Bones Highland, stays with him on the drive, cuts him off on the counter, and stays with him all the way to the baseline, and eventually forces a travel, Bones Highland shuffling his feet. Like I said, another play of Damian Lillard's gravity. He's barely past half court. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of eyes on him. And Bobby Portis is going to take advantage of that because as Damian Lillard drives, James Harden should be going down from the elbow to the block to take this pass away and make it so that the only passes that Damian Lillard has available are a cross-court pass to Pat Connaughton or Malik Beasley. But James Harden, not the best defender, as everybody knows, and Bobby Portis just sneaks right behind the defense for a layup. This is a really fun back-to-back play sequence between Bobby Portis and Danilo Gallinari. Now, Bobby Portis is going to shoot this first 3 in the corner and miss it. Gallinari is going to follow with a tip slam. And then this is the very next possession. Gallinari is going to find Bobby Portis in the same spot, and he's going to knock this 3 down. We've talked about it a lot, that on the second chance, this is usually within the same possession, but when guys miss shots, they know what they need to fix from the last one that they missed. And Bobby Portis makes the correction. Gallinari finds him with the assist this time, and Bobby knocks down the 3 and gives a little shimmy. Okay, so this play isn't something super flashy. It's absolutely not something you're going to see in highlights, and the credit goes to Jake on this. This is something, as soon as Jake sees this, he's going to be like, oh yeah, that's a really good point to call that out. Thank you, Tyler, for bringing that up. This is the next step of AJ Green's game. So I'm going to have more AJ Green coming up, but this is an evolution for AJ Green. This is something that Jake talked about, is for AJ Green to have a dribble drive in his game. It results in Danilo Gallinari getting a couple free throws, but for AJ Green to be more than just a catch-up shooter, if he can get that dribble drive in his game, that's just going to make him even more of a weapon. This is the Milwaukee Bucks playing some really good defense late in their game against the Clippers. Now, I have to give Doc Rivers credit for this, because if you look at the way the Bucks are standing now, it looks like they're going to come out and play man defense. Lillard is by Harden. Bobby's down here with Powell. This is Brook Lopez. And then AJ Green going out to the corner with Kawhi and Patrick Beverly standing inside the three-point line like he's going to play the inbounder. So This is set up well to look like man, and then they come out of the inbound, and they're playing zone. And I'm going to move the caption here. Watch how much time James Harden takes to diagnose this. So there's 14 seconds when he inbounds it. James Harden is going to dribble this ball for 9 seconds while they figure out that the Bucks are playing zone. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and James Harden is still dribbling the ball in the same spot that he caught it with 14 on the shot clock on the inbound. And the Clippers have no choice but to hurry. Powell can't handle a low pass, and the ball ends up just launched. But this is set up by the way that the Bucks kind of address this on the inbound, and then James Harden trying to diagnose that the Bucks are playing zone and trying to get them into a different set. But the Bucks did a really good job of changing up their coverages, and credit for that goes to Doc Rivers. So this whole next sequence comes off of that shot clock violation that the Bucks forced, and it starts with Patrick Beverley just hitting a massive three to tie the game at 96. And it feeds into their next defensive possession, and Patrick Beverley is going to be in the thick of it again on the double team. Beverley comes up, just gets a hand on it, results in a steal, and Damian Lillard is going to get a layup here that gives the Bucks their first lead since the first quarter at 98-96. And then the Bucks again, more good defense. Brook Lopez blocks Kawhi Leonard, and the Bucks go down on offense again. And this is part of a huge run in the fourth quarter. And just, again, more Damian Lillard gravity. AJ Green's going to set a screen and more gravity on Damian Lillard. And then AJ Green's going to hit like the deepest three of his life in a huge moment. And it just gives the Bucks an even bigger lead. Last but not least, just a little bit of Bobby Portis appreciation more than I've done so in some of the individual plays. But this is just Bobby Buckets doing what he does. This is just a practice move that Bobby's just got muscle memory, and it's just a beautiful move. This one, Paul George on Bobby Portis, he's too small. Bobby just gets right into his jump hook. Perfect. And then this one, they have Amir Coffey guarding Bobby Portis. That's another practice shot. Bobby Portis hitting that in his sleep. And these just get like increasingly more clutch as the game goes too. This one is essentially the dagger. Bobby Portis knocking down the three and under a minute to go. Pretty much the dagger of the game. Bobby Portis was cooking.